Hi, I'm Grace from Khieu Photography, and today I'm going to be talking about the basics of aperture. Aperture controls how much light is let in and is dependent on the size of the hole. So if you have a large aperture, the hole is big and is letting in more light, and if the aperture is small, then the hole is small and there's less light being let in. The number that measures aperture is called the f-stop, and the higher the f-stop, the smaller the hole. This is sometimes confusing, but I like to think of it as how much light is being blocked or how much light is being stopped. So if I have an f-stop of 11 versus 1.4, the f11 is stopping more light, which means that there's less light being let in, which means that f11 is a smaller aperture than f1.4. Now that I've explained the textbook version of aperture, I'm going to show you a series of 7 videos and images. They all have the same settings, including the focus, with the exception of shutter speed and aperture. I changed the shutter speed only to keep the exposure of the photos consistent. At f11, you can see that there is a standard amount of blur or bokeh in the background. There is also a deeper depth of field. The objects that are closer are more clear than the ones that are further away. At f9, the background is less defined. At f5.6, the circles of the blur become bigger, which is reflective of the lens letting in more light. At f3.5, the background starts to get a lot more creamy and there is a definite shallow depth of field, so every object in the background is pretty much the same amount of blurriness. Also, you will notice in this picture, as well as f2.8, less of the stem and the back parts of the flower are in focus. Finally, at f1.8, it's the lowest I can stop the specific lens, and as you can see, the parts of the flower that are closer are the only things in focus. Hopefully this helps you with how you decide to adjust your aperture. If you want to practice using aperture and how to adjust it, then you should use aperture priority mode, or AV, on your camera, and your camera will adjust the shutter speed according to how you set your exposure, so then you can get practice on how to apply. The different ways changing aperture will affect the appearance of your photo. If you have any questions, please let me know and I'd be more than happy to help you out.